This week on Fetch Me a Home, we have Roux and Sue with Lucky Pup Rescue. Thanks for bringing her in.
Absolutely.
Okay, tell us about this girl.
Well, she's pretty much the perfect dog. She's only been with us for a few weeks, and she's about 5 months old now. And she is just doing so great in her foster home. She has a furry foster sister, and they just run around like crazy in the fenced yard. And she's doing great, as really settling into being in a home, really probably for the first time ever. And she's pretty awesome.
What is her history? She comes from Arkansas.
Yep, she was dumped off, in a wooded area in Arkansas where some other dogs had been, and she was taken in by our partner rescue in Arkansas, and they got her all up to date and spayed and ready to go. And she came up to us a few weeks ago, and she's been doing amazing.
Show them your beautiful little face with your cute little different colored eyes here. What do you think she's at least a mix of?
Well, I definitely think there's some Catahoula leopard dog in there.
Okay.
But she has some pretty big paws.
I see that.
So I mean, sometimes Great Danes have this pattern, but I don't really think she's a Great Dane because she's growing, but she's not like gigantic. But I definitely think Catahoula, because she's a herding, she tries to herd her foster sister and she tries to get all the critters in the yard, and she does the silliest thing. Like, she tried to dig a hole. Well, she didn't try. She did dig a hole in the fenced yard, and her foster mom was like, and so she sat right on top of the hole
trying to hide it,
so that nothing to see here.
I'm so sorry, I didn't mean it. Oh, what a sweetheart. So because she, she was rescued, she's still kind of figuring out life, as you said, in a home. So she's not fully potty trained yet, but she's getting there and she's learning different things. And of course, being food motivated helps with training.
Are you going to look at anybody? Are you going to look at anybody?
She's food motivated, but she is crate trained as well.
Yes, she stays in her crate really well. She really, get out.
Oh, look what you found. Come here, turn this butt around. Turn this butt around.
Look.
Oh my goodness, there we go. So she's a little bit shy at first, but she warms up very easily, it sounds like.
Yes, definitely. She's only met me a couple times, and she came right with me, and she did not love the traffic in Portland when she was getting out of the car, but she, for a treat,
Who does?
She'll do anything. Yeah, right. For a treat, she'll do anything.
Well, she seems very, very sweet, and she obviously gets along with other dogs, it seems.
Yes, definitely.
And I read that she doesn't seem to pay attention to cats.
Nope,
so.
She lives with Cat, and she does absolutely fine. It mostly ignores the cat, but has also been caught on the same surface as the cat.
Okay, what's the adoption process with Lucky Pup?
So we have an application on our website. You just go to luckypuprescue.org and fill out the application. And after that, we'll do some reference checks and a home visit. And I know you want to go back there. And then we'll see if you're a good match. She's a young dog, so someone that has a long alone day probably would not be the best match for her. But if you could come home at lunch, or you have a shorter alone day, that would be great. And she would do great in a home with another dog, because she, I think, really looks to Madeline, her foster sister, to be like, oh, this is what we do. We pee outside. We do these things.
Yeah, all the things you need to learn.
Right.
But she is learning, and she's looking for her forever home. Again, this is Roux with Lucky Pup Rescue. Sue, thank you for bringing her in.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Of course. You can find much more information on our website, and your Weekend Morning Report returns in a moment.